Hello, and welcome to the Patriot Connection. I'm Anthony Mealy.
And I'm Kaylee Costello. Halloween is a holiday filled with traditions, and dressing up in costumes is one of the most popular festivities. Patriot Connection reporter Lee Braden explains the excitement around Halloween costumes.
Believe it or not, the first Halloween costume to be commercially produced was a witch outfit in 1895. Since then, costumes have continued to evolve. Whether you purchase your costume from a store or have somebody hand make it, people love to dress up and have been celebrating this holiday by doing so for over 2,000 years. Research shows around 70% of people participate in dressing up for Halloween each year. That equates to well over $4 billion in costume sales every Halloween. So what's your favorite Halloween costume?
When I was I'm in second grade.
When I dressed up as a deer that was hunted. 2 years ago, I did a little play on words of Medusa, but instead of snakes, I put little geese heads on it, goose heads, and I was Magusa instead.
I was a ninja and I was 8 years old.
When my family dressed up as the Wizard of Oz, I was the Wicked Witch of the West, and my daughter was Dorothy, and my son was a little lion. He was about this big at the time.
A hot dog.
When I was Goldilocks.
5th grade, I was a ninja.
Last Halloween when I was Tricky from Subway Surfers and my good buddy Lee Braden was Jake and we won.
I was about 6 years old and I was dressed up as Jack Sparrow.
This year, popular costumes range from ghosts made out of sheets to $60 Batman suits. Costumes have evolved greatly over the years. We invited Wheeling Park faculty and staff to share pictures of their past Halloween costumes. Can you guess who each person is? Do you know who this not so wicked witch is? We don't have to debate that this costume is great because it's one of our speech and debate coaches, Mrs. Joginski. Up next, can you guess who this irresistible bunny is? It's none other than English language arts teacher, Mrs. Conley. How about this Bart Simpson wannabe? It's our resident mathematician, Mr. Kineski. What about this pretty princess? It's one of our world language teachers, Mrs. Nollinger. Do you know who this friendly fairy is? It's our savvy science teacher, Mrs. Hempelman. How about this superhero? It's one of our super succeed teachers, Mr. Salentino. Of course, we had some unwilling participants in this costume throwback, but thanks to someone's mom, we acquired some festive family photos. Can you guess who these brothers are? They're none other than brothers Mr. Jack Doyle, our assistant principal, and Mr. Dan Doyle, our social studies and wrestling coach. A special thanks to Mrs. Doyle and to everyone else who took time to share their pictures. This Halloween season, remember to suit up and celebrate the most wonderful time of the year. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Lee Braden.
Thank you to all the faculty and staff who submitted their photos.
Grab your pumpkin spice latte, a warm blanket, and a friend, because it's the season for scary movies. Patriot Connection reporter Ivy Nider explains.
Believe it or not, filmmakers released the first horror movie in 1896. It was called The Haunted Castle or The House of the Devil. It was just a 3-minute film filled with cauldrons, animated skeletons, and the devil. Whether it's slasher, zombie, gothic, or any of the other types, everyone has a favorite frightening flick.
I know what you did last summer because it's a great thriller and it really encompasses how teenagers would react to this situation.
Is It, because it's really cool.
My favorite movie is Longlegs because I like the singing in it.
Hereditary. Jeepers Creepers, because I really like the scenery, and I feel like all three of the movies hold up.
The Visit, because it's really good and has a good plot to it.
Just last year, in the U.S. alone, horror movies grossed close to $800 million. Let's take a look at the top 5 biggest money-making horror movies. Released in 2013, The Conjuring comes in at number 5. The Nun, released in 2018, takes the 4th place. Number 3 is Stephen King's It Chapter 2. Every beachgoer's favorite, Jaws, comes in at number 2 and made close to $480 million. Coming in at number 1 is the 1990 release of It, starring Pennywise the Clown, which raked in close to $700 million. Dr. Romick is Wheeling Park's English Language Arts Department chair and also teaches film studies. He thinks watching scary movies is a good outlet to blow off steam.
Almost always, except in very few instances, the good guy still comes out on top, and the bad people have, pay their comeuppance, basically. So I think that is a good thing.
So what draws us to scary movies? Many like the adrenaline rush or the fast-beating heart feeling, while others enjoy the feeling of relaxation.
I think we know that we're suspending our disbelief that this is just a movie, but we still know in the back of our mind this isn't really happening. So we like that thrill of the fear that we get, and yet we know that we're sitting in a theater or in our living room, so nothing really bad is going to happen to us.
Although research shows that there are many mental health benefits to watching horror movies, watching too many can increase anxiety and even result in PTSD. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Ivy Neidert.
Several horror movies already hit the theaters earlier this month. If you're a fan, make sure you go see these spooky movies.
Approximately 35 million children in the U.S. go trick-or-treating every year. Consumers in the United States purchase around 90 million pounds of candy for Halloween, totaling almost $5 billion in sales. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
It's probably either a Twix or a Reese cup.
I'm gonna have to say Werther's Caramel Original.
It's candy corn.
I think my favorite Halloween candy is Dots.
I'd say my favorite Halloween candy is probably Reese Cups.
It's Trix.
Kit Kats.
Reese's. Twix. Black licorice.
It's Reese's because it's very sweet.
I gotta say Kit Kat. Kit Kat's my favorite.
A Heath bar.
It is Twix.
Reese's.
Probably some Skittles.
Twix.
Skittles.
Kit Kats. Yes, Reese Cups.
Skittles.
Halloween candy wasn't always a big tradition in the United States. It became very popular around the 1950s.
Before we go to our break, it's time for Park TV Trivia with Patriot Connection reporter Noah Nianchak.
Candy corn. People either love it or hate it. This week's question is, what year was candy corn invented? Is it A, 1820s, B, 1880s, or C, 1910s? We'll have the answer when we come back.
What does Main Street Bank mean to you?
Well, Main Street has extended hours every business day, and they're open most holidays. Their new checking and savings accounts are really good. The balance requirement is very low, and they have online bill pay and debit cards right away. Plus, they have no fees or low fees. Great service, higher interest. That's money in the bank. The right bank.
Open your checking and savings account at Main Street Bank. You deserve a bank this good.
Did you know that half of Americans admit that they are addicted to their cell phones? Additionally, when it comes to cell phone manners, most of us do not have good ones. Using proper cell phone etiquette can be as easy as turning your brightness down in dark settings, keeping your phone to your ear and not on speaker in public, giving the person you're talking to your undivided attention and putting your phone away, and making sure you don't have private conversations or arguments on the phone when you're in public. You never know who could be listening. When you fail to use proper phone etiquette, you risk being someone that people would not want to be around too often. This message is brought to you by WPHP.
Before the break, we asked you, what year was candy corn invented? A, 1820s, B, 1880s, or C, 1910s? The answer is B, 1880s. Believe it or not, candy corn even has its own holiday, October 30th. It's the perfect day to post a picture of your favorite store-bought brand or make your own.
It's the third most popular holiday in America, Halloween. While many people only regard Halloween as a time to trick-or-treat, Patriot Connection reporter William Miskowitz takes a look at the darker side of Halloween.
When most people hear the word Halloween, trick-or-treating might be the first thing that you think of. But in reality, teenagers might have other activities in mind. Whether you stopped trick-or-treating years ago or still plan on going door-to-door this Halloween, there are precautions both parties need to take in order to stay safe. Wheeling Park's Prevention Resource Officer, Officer Wilson, says that there are safety measures for not only trick-or-treaters, but also for those who plan on participating in any Halloween activities.
On Halloween, trick-or-treat. Remember to drive slow if you're driving. There'll be a lot of trick-or-treaters out, maybe in dark clothing in the roads, so drive slow. I've already said, only eat things that are in their original packaging. Walk in groups of 2 or more. Stay together. And also check in and tell your parents where you're going and how long you'll be there.
While most parents would like to believe that Halloween is just for candy and costumes, in reality, 1 in 3 teenagers plan on attending a Halloween party this upcoming holiday. While the risk of drinking and dangerous activities are not a reason for parents or students to say no to any Halloween festivities, a little extra awareness goes a long way for your safety. One of our community and schools liaisons, Mrs. Murphy, says that even though you should not be partaking in illegal activities, you must always be smart in the situation.
Probably more than anything, I really recommend just having the knowledge and being aware of your surroundings, because you never know in those situations who is going to show up, who is going to already be there, and who or how you'll react to certain things that you may or may not have consumed. And so in those moments, you don't really know how you're going to react or act under those influences.
Even though having a game plan for any activity that you're participating in is one of the most important things to do, staying with a trusted group of friends will help ensure the safety of your night.
I would recommend that they, make sure they have some sort of Life 360 on, whether it's with their parents, hopefully, but if not, then at least with their friends. So that way, if they ever found themselves removed from that specific location, that somebody knows where they are or has access to them. With that, I definitely recommend always having your phone charged, and if it's not charged, having a charger with you, an Apple Watch or whatever.
Whether it's avoiding dark areas without supervision, staying away from a suspicious drink, or simply just watching your surroundings, it never hurts to take precautions no matter the situation. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Leah Miskowitz.
With the right precautions, we can all have a great time this Halloween.
It's that time of the year when the air is crisp and cold and pumpkin spice is everywhere. Fall. Patriot Connection reporter Michael Tran is back and recently hit the halls to ask you, what is your favorite part about this season?
Football and hiking in the woods.
Definitely Thanksgiving. I love seeing my family on Thanksgiving.
Halloween, because my little kids dress up for Halloween and go trick-or-treating.
The weather. I love when it gets colder so I can wear my sweatshirts.
Crunchy sound the leaves make underneath my feet when I'm walking.
Okay, you guys aren't gonna like this, but make sure you check out my Monday Minute in a few weeks. My favorite part about fall is when it's over and we can start talking about Christmas and playing Christmas music.
I was being able to play football with all my friends. I really enjoy this time.
Play all the food with pumpkin in it and all the fall smells with pumpkin.
Halloween is the weather.
Probably when the leaves are changing color.
Probably Halloween and the amount of fall spirit everyone has.
Halloween.
Is watching scary movies.
It's the weather.
I love when the leaves change colors in the fall. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Michael Tran.
People originally called this season harvest. English-speaking poets started using the phrase the fall of leaves, and by the mid-1800s, the phrase became more common.
Now, let's take a look at what else is going on at Wheeling Park High School this week.
Patriots Helping Patriots is a club at Wheeling Park whose goals are helping our veterans and our community, spreading patriotism, and helping others. If you're interested in joining this club, see Mrs. Robbins in room 244 with your $20 dues. Dues include a Patriots Helping Patriots shirt.
This Friday, November 1st, is a professional learning day for Ohio County schools. Students do not have school that day.
Wheeling Park has started a debate club. If you're interested in joining, see Mrs. Draginski in room 215 and 217. It meets week 2 during activity period.
Boys basketball recently began Flex Open Gym workouts and conditioning. If you missed it and are wanting to play basketball but are not participating in a fall sport, see Coach W.
Love to read? Then one of Wheeling Park's newest clubs, Books and Banter, would love to have you join. Just see Mrs. Yost in room 333.
All Ohio County schools will be closed on Tuesday, November 5th for Election Day.
Sign up to be a member of Drug Free Clubs of America now. This year's members will get new rewards like Chick-fil-A, parking spots, and there will be weekly raffles. Fill out the form on Schoology now.
Interested in archery at Wheeling Park? Even if you've never shot a bow before, the coaches will teach you. Questions? Reach out to Coach Thomas at 304-281-3731.
Are you looking for a part-time job? Wheeling's Laughlin Chapel is looking for after-school classroom mentors. It provides free after-school and summer programs for children. Children enrolled are in grades K through 5. The after-school program is held Monday through Thursday from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock and follows the Ohio County Schools academic calendar. There are no weekend or evening hours.
All students must have their student ID with them throughout the whole day of school at all times. You must have a student ID in order to get a breakfast or lunch and to be admitted in any school activity. You may purchase a replacement ID for $3 in the technology office. It's located on the 3rd floor near our school store.
All males who are 18 years old must sign up for the selective service. You may do so online at sss.gov, or you can pick up a form in the school counseling office.
Wheeling Park is no longer accepting cash at sporting events. You must buy a ticket online or use a debit card if you want to buy one in person. Remember that all Wheeling Park students get in free to all regular season home sporting events, but you must have your valid student ID.
That's a wrap for this week's Patriot Connection. We're on WLTV 14, 7 days a week at 6:30 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. For all the Patriot Connection reporters, I'm Kayla Costello.
And I'm Anthony Mealy. Have a great day.